Hello everyone, this is Matt Duffield from mattduffieldtrading.com. I just want to take a look at some of the hot penny stocks of the day. There were two big runners today, symbol DNRG and AQXP. AQXP was just a monster. But anyway, before we get started, I just want to point out, everything contained in this video is for educational purposes only, and it should not be construed as investment or trading advice. Penny stock trading can be very risky. You can lose a lot of money. You can gain a lot of money. You should be aware of the risk involved and make your own decisions. That being said, let's take a look at DNRG. This was a previous runner. As you can see, June 25th, or actually June 24th, this stock took off a huge run from less than a penny all the way up to 30, I think it was 35 cents per share. I managed to grab it right here, about 20 cents, held it overnight, and sold on the gap up to 32 cents a share. It was a nice 50% gain. And I've been watching it ever since. It's been on my radar. And I noticed this inverse head and shoulders pattern setting up, and I was just waiting for the breakout. I posted a blog last night outlining this pattern, and saying that, hey, this thing should break out this week. This is going to be a hot stock this week. So as you can see, you got the left shoulder right here, the head, and then an extended right shoulder. And on Friday, we had a bit of a breakout here. The stock closed at 11.2 cents per share on decent volume. So I felt pretty confident this thing was going to run this week to at least a minimum of 16 cents per share. And as you can see, it closed all the way at 17.6 cents per share. Let's take a look at an intraday chart. This trades on the OTC, so it can be a little choppy. It trades a little infrequently at times, like as you can see here during the middle of the day, a little spotty. But in the early morning, this stock tends to run. And as you can see, right at the start of the day, this took off from 11 cents all the way to 16 cents per share before it had a pullback to 14 cents. That's the thing about this particular stock, DNRG. When it gets moving in one direction, it tends to move that way for an extended period of time. Trades a little differently than other stocks you might watch. That being said, it has hit my minimum price target. I sold my position that I had bought at 11.2 a couple weeks ago. I sold here at 17.2 cents at the end of the day. Might be a little early, but it was a 50% gain for me in one day. Considering this closed at the highs of the day, I fully expect this thing to open tomorrow and run. But the run might be limited, and that's why I sold my position, because if you look back on the 60-minute chart, you have to go back. Let's try 10 weeks. Right in here, you've got some resistance starting at 17.5 cents to around 20 cents per share. So this may pop in the morning, up into the 18 to 20 cent range, but I expect a pullback at that point. If not, I played it a little safe and I took my 50% here. I can reevaluate and maybe buy back in, but I will most likely wait for a decent pullback. I'll have to watch the intraday charts, or I will buy on a breakout over this resistance, so over 22 cents per share, because this thing could really take off, as there's really no resistance above, which is what happened here. Now later this week, on Thursday, August 13th, the company plans to speak with investors via a conference call. And this is at 7 p.m., so after market close. So I'm not sure what they're going to speak about, what questions are going to be asked. But leading up to that conference, this stock could continue to run in anticipation, the hype. So we may see 20, 30 cents before Thursday. So I fully expect more action out of this stock. So I am definitely going to be watching it for another entry. The other monster of the day was AQXP. This thing just made a huge run. I was watching this thing on Friday and chickened out and failed to buy around $9 or $10 a share because I didn't want to hold over the weekend. This thing gained 400% on Friday. It just seemed like too much of a risk. Fortunately for longs, this thing opened at 17.79 and it didn't look back. It just shot higher all the way to 50. What do we have here? $55. And this must have just been shorts getting annihilated and getting margin calls, forced buy-ins, because this just pushed higher. You know, with hardly a pullback. Got halted a few times right up in this range, as you can kind of see. A lot of money was made today on this stock, and I'm sure those who were short lost big amounts of money. I stayed away from it today. After this initial surge, I figured this was just going to tank, and sure enough, it did. I mean, it came down from 50 all the way back to 18, which is still a huge 80% gain on the day. But I didn't want to play it. If you look at the daily chart, that's a huge, nasty candle. That doesn't look good. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's more of a gamble. Yeah, they had great phase 2 trial announcements, and I think there was even a analyst price target upgrade. But due to the low float of this thing and short covering, that's what caused this to just do this huge super spike in the morning. So that was the two big plays of the day. I still like DNRG. I would recommend traders keep an eye on that. And that's kind of my point here. I want to just look at the hot penny stocks of the day, do a little analysis, analyze what happened during the day, maybe what trades could have been made, and then analyze, if there's anything left in the stock, potential price targets. And we already went over DNRG, and I'll continue to monitor this on mattduffieldtrading.com. And I wish everyone the best of luck.